The sound of Wycliffe's country. DCR, the channel you want to listen to.
This is Terry Cleaver reporting for Dover Community Radio. The date is Saturday the 17th of December and I'm here on the Poulton Close Business Park at the Dogs Bodies Dog Daycare and Grooming Centre with Nina Hook. Hello Nina.
Hi Terry.
So what gave you the idea of opening the Dogs Bodies here in Dover?
Well, I've been doing dog walking locally for about 2 or 3 years, and then I started getting people saying, you know, can I have the dogs for a couple of hours? And I've not, obviously at home, I can't do that. I've not got the space, so it just kind of came about from that really. People not wanting to leave their dogs all day while they're working, mainly.
So it's a really good idea then.
Yeah, it's getting quite a bit of interest, people working, and whereas you could pay a dog walker £10, they'll take your dog out for an hour, for 15 they can come here for the whole day, so it's quite good sort of value for money as well really.
So how did you actually come up with the name, the Dogs Bodies?
My mum actually thought of it a couple of years ago, sort of the Dogs Bodies being kind of people that do everything, and then you've got the Dogs Bodies to look after dogs. It's a kind of play on that really.
Do you do everything with the dogs then? You do a variety of grooming and activities with them?
Yep, we do the daycare, we do grooming, and I'm currently doing a diploma in canine behaviour management, so next year I'm looking at expanding and doing sort of behavioural training services, etc.
So how long have you actually been open here in Dover?
Since about the beginning of October. We've had certain issues regarding planning and whatnot, but it's all sorted now. So since sort of October we've been taking on clients.
Do you do all sorts of breeds of dog?
We can do, yeah, right from small ones up to the larger ones. We do all grooming services, bathing, clipping, nails.
Do the dogs actually have a favourite grooming service?
Not sure. Most quite seem to sort of like the bathing, not so keen on the drying, not so keen on having their nails cut, but the baths generally a winner.
What's been the feedback from customers so far?
Everyone's been really happy, especially the sort of daycare side of things, because that's the main area we were concentrating on to start with. We've had lots of excellent feedback from our clients.
Do you have a regular set of customers at the moment?
We're starting to build up a base, yeah. We've got about 3 people who come regularly a couple of times a week, and then we've got people who come sort of as and when, lots of shift workers who sort of book as and when as well, but we're starting to build up a good base.
So what sort of experience did you have before opening up the Dogs Bodies?
Well, there's been the dog walking. I've had my own dog sort of all my life, brought up around dogs. My mum was living in France, sort of doing that sort of thing over there as well for a little while.
So is it something that you're really passionate about and enjoy?
I am, yeah. I love dogs and I've always wanted to work with animals, but sort of the opportunity never came up, and then I had children and it kind of went by the wayside, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do it, and sort of did it, and it seems to be paying off so far.
Do you do different types of grooming techniques depending on the dogs?
Yeah, there's all different depending on the type of coat, and the various breeds have different ways in which they're styled, cut, etc. But we, you know, sort of go with the owner, whatever the owner wants as well. Their requirements, we can clip to their requirements.
I take it the dogs get a say in that as well, do they?
Well, they try to. Not always listened to.
So you mentioned you did walking as well. Whereabouts do you actually walk around here?
From here, literally 2 minutes round the corner, there's nice open countryside to walk, and I think over the hills you can actually get most of the way to Folkestone, so it's quite nice. And then sometimes we'll go out in the van, take them down to the beach at Cliff, you know, down there.
Oh, yeah. There's
lots of various places. Samphire Hose, another good one if we go out for the day with them.
So you have good access to good places to walk them then?
There is. I find Dover's really quite good. There's lots of sort of hidden spots in Dover as well that generally sort of tourists don't necessarily know about, so it's quite nice.
So you do a variety of activities for the dogs here in the daycare centre. We just heard one of them in the background there. What sort of activities do you do?
We've got some agility equipment. They like to do that. I've got some more on order as well, so that should be coming soon. We've got a little ball pond that they like digging in. Every morning we do some obedience work, just sort of 10 minutes of sort of sitting down and whatnot, just to get them, you know, calmed down for the day and that, and they get walked as well twice a day with us at the moment.
So do you do different types of activities and obedience depending on the dog?
Yeah, if we've got an older dog, obviously we'll do some sort of low intensity work with them, or with puppies, obviously they won't go on big long walks like the rest of the dogs. So we can tailor the sort of day to the needs of the dog, energy level, size and whatnot.
I take it you feed them a varied diet whilst they're here as well?
If the owner wants us to feed them, that's fine. Most of the dogs get fed before they come by their owners, but some dogs do have sort of lunch. So if the owner provides the food, we're happy to give it to them at lunchtime. And any medication the dog's on as well, we're happy to administer that during the day.
How much does it cost on average for the grooming sessions?
The grooming prices start at £25, that's for a small sort of Westie Cairn type dog, up to £40 for the larger dogs.
How can people actually find out more about the Dogs Bodies and what you do?
We've got a website which is www.thedogsbodies.co.uk, and there's lots of information on there about our opening times, prices, about the daycare, what we do, and there's also a nice gallery page which shows the dogs having fun and what they get up to here. Rescue as well.
I know earlier on, before we done the interview, you said you vet the dogs before they come up here. What sort of things does that involve?
First of all, there's an application form which is fairly involved, sort of questions about the dog, behaviour, how long the owner's had the dog, particular likes, dislikes. And then once they've filled that in, I'll arrange to either go and meet the dog at their house, or they can bring the dog here at a time when there are no other dogs. And then we can just have a chat. I can meet the dog and generally assess its temperament. We don't take any aggressive dogs, obviously for safety reasons for everyone. We can't have dogs up here fighting and whatnot.
Yeah. So did it take you quite a while to set up the Dogs Bodies?
It wasn't too bad. Just sort of some painting and decorating and putting equipment in, really. That took probably a couple of months, but the planning application obviously took the longest.
How long does it take on average to groom the dogs when they're up here?
If they're good, then sort of an hour and a half to 2 hours. If they're wriggly or don't want to stand still, then it can take obviously a bit longer, sort of 2.5, 3 hours even sometimes.
And what would you say to anyone else who would be interested in working with animals?
Generally there are lots of courses you can do. Some of the online ones aren't as reputable as you might think. Sort of best things probably to speak to one of the colleges, maybe enrol on a course, or sort of just try maybe some dog walking in the local area. As long as you're insured and you've got a love for dogs, then I think it's something that most people could probably sort of do, really.
And be prepared to get a bit mucky as well.
Yes, especially at the moment. It's very, very muddy out on our walk. One of the dogs has got little mud boots on from this morning.
And going back to the activities, you said you do a variety of them. Could you describe the sort of activities you've got in the hall?
We've got some agility equipment, we've got tunnels, we've got jumps, I've got a seesaw on order, so that'll be quite good when that arrives.
Enjoy that then.
Yeah, so if we set up a little course, and most of them have got no interest in going over the jumps, but it's fun for them, it's exercise. And we've got the ball pond for digging, and a sort of shredded newspaper thing that they all seem to enjoy digging in and chucking it all out everywhere. We've got the quiet area as well, which has got all the baskets and that. It's fenced off so that any older dogs can just go in there and relax and watch the younger ones playing if they don't want to join in.
It sounds like they have a lot of fun then here.
Yep, generally they do, and generally the reports we've had from owners is that when they come home from a day here, they just sleep all night and don't want to do anything else. So they all seem to be very worn out after a day with us. If anyone wants to sort of find out more, then feel free to pop down or have a look at the website, give me a call and discuss further. The website is www.thedogsbodies.co.uk, and the phone number is 07964 347 729.
Thanks very much, Nina.
Thanks, Terry.
The sound of White Cliffs Country. DCR, the channel you want.